This is the extra credit assignment for Chapter 6. There are two things you want to look at. We are examining the time value of money. The time value of money tells you, one, what is the current value of future payments, or two, what is the future value of payments. So the first thing is, what is the current value of future payments? Meaning if someone's going to give you $1,000 in 3 years from now, and you know that money's earning 5% interest, you'd want to find out what that is worth today. Secondly, you want to learn if you have $1,000 in the bank and you're going to earn 6% interest, you want to know what that money is going to be worth in 5 or 10 years from now. That's how retirements are planned. So that's time value of money. There's other things to learn as well, as far as net present value, internal rates of return. Those have to do with investment functions, and as you take finance classes, you'll see these more often, these terms come up. How to make financial decisions. Again, net present value, internal rates of return, things like that. But the purpose of this exercise is just to give you a quick overview of, or at least an introduction to time value of money. Again, for the most part, you're going to be solving what the current value of future payments is going to be, or what the future value of current payments would be. So the exercise, I believe, is 6.3, and exercise 6.3 on page 349. That's what we're looking at. And what we're trying to do is determine the present value of the following single amounts. So it gives you the future value. The first one is future value. If you open up to page 349, exercise 6.3, we're going to find out what an amount is worth today. So the future amount is going to be $20,000, earning an interest rate of 7% over 10 periods. Presumably that's either 10 months or 10 years. But all we know is 10 periods. So again, future value is $20,000. That's what you're going to have at the end of 10 months, earning 7% interest, number of periods 10. So we want to find out what it's going to be worth. So what we do is we have to solve for the present value. Now, follow along very carefully here. And what I need you to do is pause it right here for a moment and open up an Excel spreadsheet, just like we have here, a blank one, and get familiar with what the insert the function is going to be. And I'm going to walk you through how to do these 4 exercises. I'm going to do the first one for you. So again, pause here, get this opened, please, Excel spreadsheet, and find the insert function as follows. Here we go. fx to insert function. We're solving for present value. We're trying to find out what a future payment is going to be. What is the current value of a future payment? We want to find out what it's worth today. It's called present value. This is called PV, and this is called FV. We're solving for PV today. Present value. So here we go. Present value. It's already up. Now, it asks for, this is what the function arguments are going to be right here. The rate. We know the rate is going to be 0.07%. Number of periods, 10. And it's going to ask for a payment. Now, as you can see right here, it says, is the payment made each period and cannot change over the life of an investment? That's if payments are being made consistently, whereas we don't have any payments made consistently. It looks like it's a lump sum situation, therefore we put in 0. Now the future value, we're going to enter the future value in as a negative number, because what happens is you enter the future value in as a negative number, meaning that's what's going to come. Let me rephrase that. When you're solving for something, you're putting in you're putting in a present value and a future value. The present value is going to be, if you make an investment today, that means money's coming out. Therefore, if money's coming out, that's going to be a negative amount, and the future value is going to be a positive amount because that's what you're receiving. Whereas in this particular case, we want to find out the future value is going to be a negative number because that's what's going out, and we want to get a positive number. So what you're going to do here is you're going to enter the future value in as a negative number. So when you enter, again, present value and future value, if you're solving for one, enter the opposite one as a negative number. So if you're solving for present value, enter the future value as a negative number. If you're solving for future value, enter the present value as a negative number. Think of cash flows. Cash flow goes out today. You put money into a bank. It grows. It's a negative number going out. You put $1,000 into your bank account, minus $1,000. In the future value, you're going to have more money than $1,000, hopefully, and that's going to be a positive number. So that's how to understand the difference between the two. So again, future value goes in as a negative number, negative $20,000, and here we go. Returns the present value of an investment, the total amount that a series of future payments is worth now. FV. So there it is. We have it. Now, someone actually raised the question in the class the other day as far as the difference between the type. And I give a very brief overview as far as ordinary annuity and annuity due. For the most part, especially as you continue your studies with finance and accounting, it's always going to be ordinary annuity, meaning the payment at the end of the month. Annuity due is payment at the beginning of the month. So we're just going to skip over that for now, and this is considered an ordinary annuity, meaning presumably you're going to get payment at the end of the month. Therefore, it is worth, here we go, $10,166. So if you put $10,166 in the bank today over 10 periods at 7% interest, you'll have future value of $20,000. Now, one way to check your work is let's do what's known, we're going to solve for future value. Future value, 7%, number of periods 10, payment 0, here we go. We got $19,998.06. It's what, a little less than $2 shy of $20,000. What we just did is we checked our work. This is how you can do that. So again, we solve for present value, and that tells us if we put $10,166.99 in the bank over 10 periods at 7% interest, after 10 years, we're going to earn a little less than $20,000. So that means the math is right. That's the initial number they gave us, $20,000 the future value. So all you're doing is you're checking your work, and that's how to check your work between present value and future value. They should come out the same. So again, just to recap, $20,000 at 7% interest over 10 periods today, that's 10 periods from now, today is worth $10,166.99. Conversely, if you take $10,166.99 today, put it in the bank at 7% interest over 10 periods, you will end up with $19,998.06, which is close enough to $20,000, excluding a few bucks for rounding issues. So please go ahead and just do exercise 6.3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've already done one for you, and you can feel free to check your work. Submit it by Monday night. I'm extremely late getting this out to you. I apologize. Submit it by Monday night, and I'll give you some extra credit for it, and that should cover Chapter 6 for us.